Are you leaving potential customers on the table? Ciao and welcome to my new video. Today I'm going to give you some indications to check whether your sales and marketing automation is supporting you in achieving your goals or if it's holding you back. If you don't know me already, I'm a business automation consultant and I help busy managers and entrepreneurs automate their processes so they can save time and reduce the overwhelm of the team. To understand if you are leaving potential customers on the table, you need to ask yourself the following questions. I'm going to list them out and then I'll explain them in depth. The first question is your website engineered to capture the contact's information? Because of course you need to have a lead generation machine that is working for you 24/7 and not only an online brochure. The second question is, do you have an automatic follow-up? And of course this follow-up has to be customized based on what the lead signed up for or downloaded. The third one is, do you have a system that qualifies and prioritizes those leads? And the last one is, do you have a systemized process that your sales team can follow in order to convert those leads into customers? If you don't answer yes to all of these questions, you are basically pouring gasoline in a tank that has holes. So of course you are wasting a lot of money and a lot of opportunities. And now I am going to explain to you what you can do in order to fix this. Let's go through these questions. The first one, your website needs to be a lead generation machine and not an online brochure. So what I want to say is that of course you need to have forms on your website in order to capture the email, the name and the surname and the info of the contact. But my point is that you need to create compelling content and effective call to actions. When I say that your website needs to be engineered to capture the contact's details, I mean that the ideal process is the following. Leads visit your website and are hooked by your compelling content and effective call to actions and decide to give you their details in exchange for content that is valuable for them. How do you do that? You need to map out the desires, the fears, the pain points, the goals of your target. Only by doing that, you understand what content you have to create and what kind of call to actions you need to put. In general, I can say that people try to escape from a situation and try to get to another situation that is better than the initial one. It may sound obvious, but a lot of businesses do not even know their target, do not even know exactly all the pain points, the fears, the desires, the goals of the target. And that's why they have only an online brochure that showcases their services or products. After I implemented this for some of my clients, they started to get tens or hundreds, depends on the type of business, of leads on a monthly basis. Sometimes I support my clients in defining what the pain points, fears, problems and desires of their target are. The second question was, do you have an automatic follow-up? After a lead has signed up for a webinar or downloaded a guide, for example, you need to send automatic emails in order to nurture this lead. When I say customized follow-up, I mean that of course it must be coherent with what the lead has signed up for or downloaded. So typically you need to create these emails to nurture the lead and address the typical questions, doubts that the lead can have. Of course, you can create different lead magnets, so different types of content to put on your website, and each of this content needs to have the proper follow-up. To simplify the concept, we can say that the follow-up is basically a sales page divided into many emails. And the goal of these emails is to address the topics that I mentioned before. The third question was, do you have a system that qualifies and prioritizes those leads? Picture in your mind the following situation. You have created compelling content and powerful call to actions. And now you are generating, I don't know, tens or hundreds of new leads each month. You have also an automatic follow-up that addresses the main questions and doubts that your target has. So now you have more leads and opportunities to manage on a monthly basis. How can you prioritize and qualify those opportunities so your sales team can have an efficient use of its time? You can set up the lead scoring and some automations that add the lead to the pipeline and assign it to the right sales rep when certain conditions are met. But first, what is lead scoring? Simply put, is a point system that you can set up where basically you decide the actions that the lead can take, and then you decide the points that you can assign to the lead. So basically, the more points a lead has, the more likely it is that it's going to buy from you. An example of actions can be visiting your website, for example, the pricing page or the about page or whatever, or opening your emails, clicking on the links inside the emails, etc. Then we have automations. You can define a threshold, so when a lead reaches that threshold, is added to the pipeline and assigned to the right sales rep. Of course, the threshold is something that you need to decide internally. So you need to talk with your sales team and understand what are the most important actions that your leads can take and what is the amount of points where the lead can be considered qualified, and so you can add it to the pipeline and assign it to your sales team. Of course, I support my clients with all of this. So we define the right lead scoring strategy, we define when and how to add this lead to the pipeline, and we define the method to assign it to the right salesperson. The fourth question was, do you have a systemized process that your team can follow in order to convert leads into customers? Now we are talking about sales automation. We have generated the leads, and then we have generated the opportunities. So these leads are assigned to your sales team, and your team has to manage them. From here on, you need to have a systemized sales process that can convert those leads, those opportunities into customers. And you need to do it in a way that gives you an overall view of how those opportunities are proceeding through the pipeline. And also in a way that allows you to track the most important KPIs, so then you can create a real-time dashboard and a reporting. In order to have an efficient sales process, you need to focus on the following things. You need to clearly define the stages of the pipeline, so the stages that your leads have to go through. Then you need to clearly define the tasks that your sales team has to perform, and in general, every salesman needs to know exactly what to do and when, and there must be clarity across your team members. Of course, I support my clients with this, so we define what the stages of the pipeline are, the tasks that the team has to perform, and in general we map out the overall process. The purpose of all of this is to standardize the sales process, save time on repetitive tasks, so your team has more time to focus on valuable activities such as talking to leads and customers. So let's summarize everything. You need to have a system to capture leads, a system to follow up with those leads, and then a system to qualify and prioritize the opportunities, and then you need to have a systemized sales process. If you don't have all of this, you are leaving potential customers on the table. You are basically pouring gasoline in a tank that has holes, and you are wasting money and missing a lot of opportunities. As you can see, it's not only about the technology, so the tech side of the things, but also about the strategy, about how you set up a certain process like that and the reason behind. That's why nowadays it's difficult to find a consultant that has the tech knowledge and the strategic knowledge to help you in the best way. In case you want to learn more about the process that I have structured in order to help in the best way managers and entrepreneurs, you can download the guide. You will find the link in the description of this video. Or if you want to work with me, you can go to my website ☆𝗂𝗃𝗃.com and submit the application form. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next ones. Ciao!